Three saints in particular came to mind to me on this Solemnity of Christ the King. All three died tragically as either a child or a teenager at different points in the history of the church. And while I certainly don't mean to be a Debbie Downer this morning, Jesus never did say that following him would be easy. The first is Saint Maria Goretti, a young Italian girl born in 1890 who was attacked by a man when she was 11 years old. He attempted to rape her, and when he realized she wasn't going to let that happen, he stabbed her 14 times. The last words out of her mouth before dying were words of forgiveness to her attacker. Just like Jesus on the cross when he said, "Father, forgive them. They know not what they do." This 11-year-old girl had Christ as king of her heart, which is what gave her the self-confidence to know her body as a temple of the Holy Spirit that was not going to be defiled, and that she's called to pray for her enemies and love her persecutors. Her attacker was later forgiven by her parents, and he was even present in St. Peter's Basilica on the day she was canonized a saint. The second is St. Jose Sanchez del Rio, a 14-year-old boy who was martyred during the Cristeros War in Mexico. At 14 years old, he was captured by the Mexican government and tortured. On the last day of his life, February 10th, 1928, his persecutors took the skin off the bottom of his feet and made him dig his own grave. All he had to do was say, "Death to Christ the King," and they would return him to his parents and end the torture. He proudly yelled, "Viva Cristo Rey!" and they shot him. Long live Christ the King. We often feel embarrassed to pray in public or even talk about our faith, and I'm including myself in this. But if Christ is our King, and King of our heart even, this is how far we are willing to proclaim the truth of the gospel. Finally, a more modern teenager who will be canonized by Pope Francis this coming April. Blessed Carlo Acuti died in 2006 at the age of 15 after losing his battle with cancer. He's no martyr, but his story is no less courageous. Before being diagnosed, he was both a theology and a computer geek. He put these two passions of his together and created a website cataloging all the Eucharistic miracles throughout the history of the church. You can still visit that website today if you Google search his name and Eucharistic miracles. Christ was king of his heart, which is what led him to be an evangelizer. And when he was diagnosed with his cancer, he relied on his king to walk with him and accompany him to his own Calvary, rather than blame him and shut him out, as many people do. My friends, these are tragic stories if we listen to them as people of the world. But if we listen to them as people of faith, these tragedies become victories. Because these young people won the prize of heaven after courageously carrying their cross. The world looks at these young people and says that they were stupid, dumb, or even naive for not giving in. Why put up a fight and lose your life? Why not just say the words, You don't have to mean them. Why not blame God? It's healthy to vent our anger. The world teaches us to put ourselves first. Christ, our King, teaches us to put God first, others second, and ourselves third. If Christ is King of our hearts, that is how we will live our lives. God first, others second. I am third.